Okay, so in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact strategy we use to rank at the top of ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. Now, the secret to kind of large language model search, which is going around at the moment, is Reddit. The reason is because both Google and OpenAI have partnerships with Reddit, and when they're kind of training these models, when they even for ChatGPT, when they're using these models live, they are always going to be searching Reddit data. Reddit data is huge because it's genuine people having genuine discussions. So a super important place for your brand name, your personal brand to be mentioned is on Reddit. Now, getting onto Reddit involves kind of understanding the thread of conversations, understanding the subreddit, and then knowing how to position your brand without it sounding like spam, because the number one thing that people on Reddit hate is going to be you kind of forcing your brand, forcing your kind of sell onto them. So before we jump into how we actually built it, I'm just going to show you how it works. So the first things first is we've got two different pages. We've got keywords and we've got opportunities. What I can do is go ahead and add a keyword that I want my business to rank for in Reddit. For me, obviously, it's kind of automation, and a kind of big thing for us is basically how we can help SEO agencies automate their backend. So we've got SEO automation. I'll go ahead and click check on that. Then what that's going to do is fire up the following workflow. So this workflow is essentially taking what I've just entered into Airtable, and it's scanning Google using the Google Search API, and it's go ahead and going to pass this node until we get to the Reddit node, which is going to go and extract all of that data from the post. So basically it's going to find 10 different Reddit posts that are related to what we're searching for. It's then going to go ahead and take the post, extract all the data, extract all the post ID, etc., and give that to an AI agent. Now, this agent is very specifically prompted to write a very natural response, which you'll see in just a second. So let's go over to opportunities. So what you can see here is it's pulled through all of my all of the relevant Reddit posts, and then it's also pulled through things like this. So the title of the Reddit post, the subreddit, the URL, and then interestingly how many upvotes, comments, and how old it is. And then from there, it's basically going to give it a score. So how relevant is it for you to get on this post? So you can organize by the most important, like we've done here. And then it even goes ahead and drafts the comments. So for example, these comments aren't just kind of random written AI spam. These look like they have been written by someone who's genuinely replying to kind of push in your brand name very, very subtly. And we can even go ahead and click post, and as you can see, it's going to give us the link of what it's just posted. Like, that system is autonomous and would normally take you so many hours to create. We've then got another workflow, which is just a tiny three node workflow, which is just going to go ahead and post it, and that looks like this. Literally just goes ahead, trigger from Airtable. So when I click post, it's going to go ahead, add the post, then give me the URL. Okay, let's jump into how we're going to build this for your business. So I've already built it, so I'm not just going to build it again off my memory. I'm just going to show you each node so you can literally go ahead and copy and paste this. So first things first, we probably want to start with what's called a cron node, or schedule trigger, whatever. We'd schedule it every day, so I'd replace what I've got at the moment, which is kind of a manual execution, with that so that it triggers every day. Then we want to create the database setup in Airtable. Now, by the way, if you join the Skool community, which is completely free in the description, you'll have access to every single prompt and this whole N8N workflow, which you can literally go and copy and paste. So that will save you some time if you fancy going to do that in the description. But yeah, your options are basically we have a search record node, which is looking for all the keywords which have been enabled. So basically box ticked, that's our filter by formula in the keywords page. So if we come over to the keywords page, when I click the checkbox, it's pulling through any of those keywords which I've enabled. The next thing is going to be a loop over items. So that's just a node to make sure this is carried out for every single different keyword that I've highlighted. And this is the super important one. So this is the Google Custom Search API. Yeah, so for this, you're going to want to go over to the Google Cloud API. And when you're in here, you're going to want to make sure that you go to API and Services, Library, and then search up Google Custom Search. and you want to make sure you've got this API enabled. And then just as you normally would for a Google API, go through back to API and services, click on credentials, set up your credentials and link it over to NA10. So that's the kind of one of the tricky nodes in this. The other ones are just custom code nodes. I will display these if you fancy screenshotting them and copying and pasting them. If not, like I said, the whole workflow is just there for on Skool, which you can go grab. So that is them if anyone's interested. And then we have the Reddit node. Now the Reddit node can be a bit of a pain because there's a lot of limits when it comes to setting it up, but you should be fine. You basically go enter your Reddit details, make sure you set up a Reddit developers account, enter your name and password, and it will really simply just go and find these posts. So what details it's looking for is the subreddit and the post ID, and what these things are going to return here will be exactly that. So it's going to pull through loads of different things like how many upvotes it's got. It pulls the Reddit the Reddit get a post pulls through a lot of different metrics. But all you're looking for here is the subreddit and the post ID, and it can extract all that information. Then we've got one more code node, which is here. And that basically ranks everything. So it basically gives it a score. How important is it for you to comment under this post, based on like all the things we talked about, the engagement, how old the post is, etc., etc. Then the AI agent prompt, which is super important. You can go ahead and copy this, and then also the system prompt, which makes sure the output it returns is super, super natural. We've even said basically sometimes add in like an occasional typo, so you know you're not going to get flagged by any system on Reddit. Then go ahead and create the record. So make sure it's back in your Airtable. If you want to have a better look at the Airtable, it looks like this. So we've got all these different fields here, which is everything we need. And then you can go build that final workflow to basically make it post and get that built. But this is going to be huge. This is the future of search, and this is something which every business needs to start thinking about. It's clear that Reddit is the driving platform behind how large language models are gathering information. So this is an automation which is going to save you a lot of time. Okay, that's it.